Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We often think of CCTV as the silent witness, the unblinking eye that captures everything and helps solve crimes. We see it on the news all the time. A grainy image leads to an arrest, and a case is closed. But what happens when the cameras are rolling, yet they reveal nothing? What happens when the very tool we rely on for answers only deepens the mystery? Today, we're diving into a case that perfectly illustrates this frustrating paradox. A story where every frame of footage seems to create more questions than it answers. This is the baffling disappearance of a person, captured on camera, yet vanishing into thin air. The story begins on what seemed like a completely ordinary day. Let's call our missing person Alex. Alex was a creature of habit, following a predictable routine. Work, gym, home. Friends and family described Alex as reliable, responsible, and not the type to disappear without a word. On the day in question, Alex left work at the usual time. We know this because the security camera at the office exit logged Alex walking out the door, briefcase in hand, looking completely normal. There was no sign of distress, no one following, just another day ending like any other. This is our first piece of footage, clear as day, but it gives us no clue of the mystery that's about to unfold. From the office, Alex's usual route home was a 15-minute walk through a well-lit, busy part of the city. This route was covered by at least a dozen different CCTV cameras from storefronts, traffic lights, and public buildings. Logically, piecing together Alex's journey should have been simple. And at first, it was the first camera after the office, on a coffee shop corner, picked Alex up just a minute later, still walking at a steady pace. The next camera, mounted on a bank, showed Alex waiting to cross the street. Everything was perfectly normal. The police began to map out the journey, connecting the dots from one camera to the next, expecting to trace Alex all the way home. But then, the trail went cold. The problem arose at a specific junction. Alex was seen on camera walking towards a small public square. This square had multiple exits and was monitored by a single, wide-angle camera perched high on a lamppost. The footage from this camera was the crucial piece of the puzzle. Investigators watched it with bated breath, expecting to see Alex emerge from one of the exits and continue on the path home. But that's not what happened. Alex walks into the frame, into the middle of the square, and then nothing. Alex is seen milling about for a few moments, perhaps checking a phone, and then seems to walk behind a large, decorative fountain in the center of the square. And that's the last time Alex is ever seen. You might be thinking, well, Alex must have come out from behind the fountain and left the square, but that's the impossible part. The single wide-angle camera covered every single exit from that square. The police, and later independent analysts, scoured every second of that footage for hours, days, and weeks. They watched every person who entered and left the square for the next several hours. They tracked every single individual out of the square, and none of them were Alex. It was as if Alex walked behind that fountain and simply vanished into thin air. The camera, which was supposed to provide clarity, had instead documented an impossible disappearance. The investigation, of course, went into overdrive. The fountain itself was the first place they looked. It was just a normal water feature, with no secret passages, no tunnels, no manholes nearby. The police drained it completely. Host to be Suri. They found nothing but a few coins and some fallen leaves. They checked the plumbing and access panels. Nothing. The area around the square was searched with dogs, but they found no scent trail leading away. It defied all logical explanation. How can a person be on camera 1 second and gone the next, in a space with no visible escape route? This is where the limitations of CCTV become painfully clear. A camera only shows you what it sees. It doesn't show you what's happening just outside its field of view, or in its blind spots. While this camera covered the exits, were there other possibilities? Could there have been a vehicle that pulled up in a blind spot just behind the fountain? The angle of the camera made it difficult to be certain. Some have theorized that Alex could have been pulled into a vehicle that was perfectly obscured by the fountain for just a few critical seconds. It's a plausible theory, but one that is impossible to confirm from the footage alone. The camera angle created a perfect, frustrating blind spot. Another theory that emerged was a case of mistaken identity on the footage itself. Could the person entering the square not have been Alex? Or could Alex have left disguised as someone else? Investigators went back and analyzed the clothing and gait of every single person who left the square. After Alex went behind the fountain, They cross-referenced them with other cameras further down the various streets. Every person was eventually accounted for. None of them were Alex in disguise. The person walking into the square was confirmed to be Alex by multiple family members. The footage was clear on that. It was the disappearance that made no sense. The psychological toll this took on the family was immense. They had been told there was footage. And for a moment, they thought they'd see what happened. Find a clue. Heton. And swear. Instead, they were presented with a video of their loved ones simply ceasing to exist. It's an ambiguous kind of grief that is incredibly difficult to process. The police were just as frustrated. They had a timeline. They had a last known location. They even had a video of the final moments. But it all led to a dead end. Every lead that came from the CCTV footage was a phantom. This case highlights a crucial point about modern surveillance. We have more cameras than ever before, but they are not a magic bullet. Their placement, their angle, their quality, and the simple, unpredictable nature of human events can render them useless. In this instance, the camera documented an impossibility, creating a legend rather than providing evidence. It shows that reality can sometimes be stranger than fiction, and that even in our hyper-documented world, a person can still vanish without a trace. The investigation officially remains open, but it has long gone cold. The footage from that day has been analyzed by experts from all over the world, and no one has ever been able to explain what it shows. It's a digital ghost story. A person is there, and then they are not. The camera recorded the moment, but it kept the secret. It's a chilling reminder that technology can only show us so much, and that some mysteries are destined to remain unsolved, locked away in the grainy frames of a silent, unhelpful witness. Thank you so much for watching. This case is a truly perplexing one, and it really makes you think about the limits of what we consider to be concrete evidence. What do you think happened? Do you have a theory that might explain the unexplainable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story as fascinating and unsettling as I did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more unresolved case. We'll see you in the next one.